It is currently 85 degrees in my apartment since my AC stopped working, and I figured this is the perfect time for me to tell you why Flight Sim 2020 sucks. It's been about 3 weeks since Flight Sim came out, and about 1 week since my AC stopped working. To date, I've put in around 30 hours, and I've flown across the continental United States. In that time and through that distance, I have been confused and sometimes just outright pissed off. I didn't originally plan to make this video, but in doing research for a video I was going to make on how to create your own flight plan in the aircraft itself, I realized it was way more trouble than it was worth. I mean, nothing works, and if it does, it just doesn't work properly. I sat in airport for almost an hour today just trying to put in my own flight plan before I realized that it was just the biggest waste of time. Let's go through my Bevo Devo official list of Flight Sim frustrations, starting with multiplayer. Multiplayer is a feature that has been in games for eons, allowing players to connect with each other online through the power of the internet. Flight Sim is a game that has the feature of multiplayer, a feature that has upset me more times than I can count. In order to fly with friends, all you need to do is join the same group and spawn at the same airport. Simple enough, but the problem is that sometimes you and your friend or friends will spawn at the same airport at the same time, be in the same group, and just not be able to see each other. I get networking and latency and all that jazz, but my problem is when you try and fly with a friend, you just have no certainty that you'll be able to see them, and therefore fly with them. Now, I understand why Flight Sim did the multiplayer the way they did because it's cool and immersive, but the lack of certainty or control is just something that really annoys me. Another issue is the planes themselves. I mean, heck, look at the 747, which I made a video specifically on it being a broken, buggy mess that hardly flies. Now, most of the other planes that aren't the 747 or the 787 aren't this bad, but they've still got their problems. Beyond some of the buttons in the cockpit being in-op, some of them just plain do not work. Additionally, many of the navigation features don't work or just bug to a point where you can't use them. For example, you can't access the approach screen in the CJ4, and sometimes if you go to load a flight plan in the Garmin's, your game will just straight up crash. If I haven't said it before, this game pisses me off. In saying that, Flight Sim is one of the best games to ever come out. I'm normally super critical of AAA studios because they have a huge reserve of manpower and resources, meaning that they can do practically anything. So big problems in AAA games are completely unacceptable in my mind, especially when the game costs at minimum $60. Flight Sim is different though. I mean, the barrier to entry is so low. It comes with Xbox Game Pass, which is at most $5 a month. Not to mention the scope of Flight Sim is ridiculous. A 1-to-1 scale replica of Earth with real time, real weather, and real players all in a server, all bundled into one game, and it's somehow still smaller than Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Flight Sim may piss me off constantly, but what they've given us so far has gone well beyond my expectations of anything. And I'm willing to forgive it all, even though they're a AAA studio with a huge manpower pool and a huge reserve of resources. And I know that they'll fix aircraft, and I know that they'll fix the servers and make multiplayer work. And I'm okay with all that, and I'm happy for that, and I look forward to when that happens. And until it does, I'm gonna keep getting pissed off and upset, but I will keep working through it because it's all so worth it just to be able to fly around the world and see things, crazy things. I mean, sometimes the terrain's ridiculous, sometimes buildings are ridiculous. I mean, what's with the Washington Monument? But it doesn't matter because it's worth it. I'm not saying you shouldn't be critical of things. I mean, I'm critical of hell of anything. But all I'm saying with Flight Sim is it's just so different that it's hard not to still be pissed off but astonished. Now, with that all being said, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for today's video. It was a little different than usual because it wasn't a tutorial or a showcase or anything like that, but I wanted to get those opinions out there, and I figured, you know, maybe you'd enjoy them. Regardless, if you enjoyed this video or want to see anything more like it, make sure to let me know by liking and subscribing. And also, thank you guys so much. We got to 1,000 subs, which is incredible. I mean, I started this channel 3 years ago, and honestly never foresaw 1,000 people thinking that my content was worth their time, and I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Anyways, thanks for watching.